The rise of Wrexham has continued to capture hearts of football fans all around the world. We all know the story. Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds purchased the Welsh non-league club and have saved them from the brink of bankruptcy and are on the path to making them one of the biggest clubs in England. But there is still so far to go. Today, we're taking over from the progress McElhenney and Reynolds have already made and putting our spin on it. We're not only going to make Wrexham the biggest club in English football, but the greatest club in the world. Get ready for a truly special journey. So here is the default side FIFA 23 has given us for Wrexham AFC or AFC Wrexham. The foundations are somewhat there, but there is still so much work for us to do if we want Wrexham to continue their climb up the English footballing pyramid. Of course, Wrexham are currently a non-league club in real life, so I have put them into the EFL League 2, taking them from the rest of the world category, and I have decided to put Rochdale in the rest of the world category, mainly because at the time of recording, they are dead last in League 2. Life at Wrexham officially begins here with the signing of the Kiwi left back, Sam Sutton, who is joining us from the Wellington Phoenix for £1 million. And the first man out of the club is Jake Bickerstaff, who is off to Shamrock on a season-long loan. And we're going to have our first permanent player departure, the striker, the Irish striker, Liam McAlinden is off to Cheltenham Town. £200,000 might not seem like a crazy amount of money in the grand scheme of things, but right now, that is like a pot of gold for us. We have gone ahead and sourced ourselves a new attacking midfielder from across the pond. It is Bryce Duke. That is such an American name, such a frat boy name, but Bryce Duke is joining us here from Inter Miami. Got ourselves another player departure here, another massive £195,000 added to our transfer budget as we sell Reece Hall-Johnson. Someone that I am definitely not selling early on here is Paul Mullen. This guy is crushing it for Wrexham in real life. He's become a cult hero. I am not accepting any offers for him. I think Mullen's going to be crucial for us this year if we expect ourselves to get promoted. If any clubs want to come in for any of these guys though, then we can talk business. Didn't get to do as much business as I wanted in this opening window, but we've added ourselves a new attacking midfielder and a new left back, which are two foundational pieces I really wanted. I think in January I'm going to push for either a new goalkeeper or a new right back, but we'll see how we're stacking along in terms of the league season. I genuinely don't have expectations for season 1. If we get promoted, cool. If we finish bottom of the table, also, not so cool, but kind of cool. Okay. That is cool. I said it would be cool regardless. We're coming first in the 4th division here, halfway through season 1. There is still so much time to go, but I thought I didn't expect to be coming first. I'm going to be totally honest. I did not expect to be top of the table. I've been struggling to get transfer offers in for players that I want to sell, so I've just decided to bite the bullet here and go in for a new right back. Adam Devine is going to join us here from Rangers for £670,000. Life at Wrexham has begun in the best way imaginable. Already promoted into the 3rd division with Wrexham AFC, 86 points. We have absolutely crushed it this year. Champions of the 4th division. Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney, if you're watching, I'm your boy. Get me in charge. Scroll on down the League 2 table, however, and the relegated sides, or the relegated sides, not that you can get relegated in FIFA 23, is Harrogate Town, Crawley Town, and Sutton United, I think? Doesn't matter, they're staying in the 4th division regardless. Man City did win the FA Cup. Aston Villa won the Carabao Cup. Lincoln City won the Papa John's Trophy. Are we ever going to win that? I mean, we did terrible in that tournament. And it's going to be Grimsby Town joining us in League 1 next year. Even though we're so far away from being in the Champions League, I still wanted to take a look at it, and we have seen Marseille make the final in season number 1. What a Cinderella story that would have been. Meanwhile, Man City win the Europa League and AZ Alkmaar have won the Conference League. This is what I mean when I said Paul Mullen was going to be so crucial for us this year. 29 goals for the English striker to get us promoted up to League 1. Will he have the same effect in League 1 in the 3rd division next year? We are going to be saying goodbye, however, to Mark Howard. He's gone down to 58 overall, so we're going to let his his contract expire at the end of Season 1. What a dream start though. Let's get into the third division in Season 2. Getting ourselves a top quality shot stopper is going to be imperative to us surviving the relegation battle in League 1 this year. I have noticed that Jamie Cumming has come back from his loan move last year and has 12 months on his contract. So I'm going to see if we can get the Chelsea keeper on a cheap offer here, on a cheap deal, and get in some regular first team football here at Wrexham. And Graham Potter agrees with me. Graham Potter accepts the offer. I always get worried about delegating offers for players that kind of want more wages and all that stuff. Like, obviously he's gonna have to take a pay cut here if he wants to play for us, but I don't want to leave it to the assistant manager. I really want to get this one over the line with Jamie Cumming. Everything going to plan so far, but this is where it annoys me. I wanted them to come to me with a wage offer because I don't know if £10,000 is me overpaying or whether it's going to walk them out of the room. Let's see what Jamie Cummings says. They want a £78,000 signing bonus, which means we were pretty close to being on the money, and I can accept that. I'm so excited to see what Jamie Cumming can do here at Wrexham AFC. Will he be our goalkeeper of the future and become a star at our club? Our first player departure of the season, however, is going to be a 2-year loan move for Kai Evans. I was debating whether I sent Bryce Hosanna off on a season loan move or a permanent departure. I've decided to go on a permanent departure. He's now playing under Andrea Pirlo in the Turkish league, and we got £440,000 in response. Going to put part of that money, however, towards bringing ourselves in a top quality centre half of the squad here. It is the Polish defender Miloš Matisic, who is joining us here from Jagiellonia. No idea where that's from. I'm going to assume the Polish league, but we pay £1.4 million for his services. A big player departure here. What would have been a big, this is who I was trying to sell for the majority of last season. Anthony Ford, officially out of the club, off to the French league for £370,000. And a massive player departure here for the starting 11. One of our star strikers, Ollie Palmer, no longer a Wrexham AFC player, as we've sent him to the Turkish league. Got £750,000 back as well, so I want to use that money wisely. Saying goodbye to our former shot stopper though, Rob Langton, out of the club. I'm trying to sell as many players as possible before I go in for a new striker, mainly because I want to have as much money at my disposal as possible to get a world-class striker. Well, hopefully a future world-class striker. Regardless though, we're saying goodbye to Jordan Tunnicliffe as the former starting centre half is off to FC Sion in Switzerland. And Luke Young is off to the Swedish league for £290,000. And we have done it, lads. We have got ourselves a new striker for the future. It is the Tottenham and England youngster and superstar wonder kid, Dane Scarlett, who is joining us here at Wrexham. He believes the vision, and I'm really hoping that Dane Scarlett can be someone that can join us on this journey and be an absolute superstar for us along the ride. I'm really happy with how the team is coming along, especially after this most recent transfer window, but I'm keeping it 100% here, lads. My goal for season 2 is to not get relegated. We had an expectation-defying first season in League 2. I don't know if magic is going to strike twice. I am okay with having an okay season. I am okay with having not getting relegated to be our goal for this year. We don't want to be going down. We just want to stay in the 3rd division this year. Paul Mullen, I need you to step up and bag us 29 goals again, man. I've got to stop doubting ourselves. I have got to stop selling us so short. We're in the playoff picture. We are in the playoff promotion picture right now, ladies and gentlemen. 6th with Wrexham AFC here in the 3rd division. This is a dub of a season. I mean, we're what, 44 points? What is the relegation zone at the moment? It is going to be Exeter City. So yeah, we're 17 points clear of the relegation battle. Definitely not safe at the moment, but in a really, really strong position this year. I would die if this was like a 5-season rebuild where I just go like League 2 to League 1, next season to the Championship, next season to the Prem, next season qualify for Champions League, next year win the Champions League. That'd be nice. Going to make our first free agent signing of the rebuild, however, we have beaten out Hibs in the Scottish League to sign the Portuguese centre midfielder Raul Cardoso, who is automatically going to be a starting 11 player for us, a 5-year deal. Hopefully this kid can become like an insane talent for us, like the next João Moutinho or something like that. Welcome though to Wrexham, Raul Cardoso. It's not to be, lads. We've hit a little bit of a second half of the season slump and dropped out of the playoff race, finishing 8th. We were comfortably out of the playoff race, like 8 points behind behind, but it's still above the goal that we set ourselves this year. We survived relegation, and next year, promotion to the championship is definitely the goal. Birmingham City and Wigan Athletic have been automatically promoted this year. Fair play to Birmingham, hitting the century mark. Meanwhile, as we scroll down the table, it's going to be Cambridge United, Morecambe, Grimsby, and Bolton. I'm sorry, Thogden, all getting relegated. Tottenham take down Burnley in the FA Cup final. Wolves take down Liverpool to win the Carabao Cup. Derby County beat Blackpool to win the Papa John's Trophy. We made it to the quarterfinals in that competition. I guess the silver lining about not getting promoted is we get another opportunity to win the Papa John's Trophy next year. And it is going to be Blackpool who are promoted to the championship. I don't think we'll be seeing Manchester City doing this anytime soon. Arsenal have won the Europa League and Villarreal win the Conference League. Paul Mullen, once again, our top goal scorer for the season. He's been absolutely carrying us, but I'm really happy to see Dane Scarlett in his first season as a Wrexham player bagging himself 17 goals. Also, Jordan Davies, the midfielder, 11 goals, 7 assists. Fair play to you, my friend. Sam Sutton, the King Kiwi himself, the big grower this year, plus 6 overall, and the Kiwi left back is 74 rated. I gotta keep my eye on this fella. This season, I am focused on building up the midfield so that we can get ourselves promoted to the championship. We're going in here for a defensive midfielder. Now, the only reason I'm even able to go in for him is because he's got 12 months remaining on his contract. Vuta Burger, which is making me quite hungry. Might get some lunch after this season. But the chief executive says we can offer about £4.65 million to get him across from FC Basel. And they're gonna walk out. Wait, oh, they're happy. That cutscene, what is that cutscene? It made me think they were about to go off at us and walk out of the room. Nobody was enthusiastic at all there. But there we go, lads. We get ourselves a new defensive midfielder. Vuta Burger is joining the Wrexham Revolution. £4.65 million to sign him from FC Basel. Ironically, some of the money that we spent and gave to FC Basel for that Burger signing is going to come right back into our pockets as we sell Andy Cannon to FC Basel for £1.1 million. I'm surprised it's taken me this long to get this guy a loan move, but 3 seasons into the career mode, we're finally sending Dan Davies out on a 2-year loan. Ryan Austin, pack your bags, fella. You're off to party in Ibiza for the next year, lucky fella. Another player that is packing their bags, this time on a permanent deal, is going to be Elliot Lee. He doesn't get to go to Ibiza. He stays in Wales and goes to Cardiff City. Would that technically be considered selling a player to a rival? Like, are Wrexham and Cardiff, or even Wrexham and Swansea, like that fierce of a rival? Even Wrexham and Newport County? Like, do these teams have beef with Wrexham? I'm not too sure. The player departing though, Rory Watson. I'm really cleaning out the deadwood of the squad, really trying to bolster up the base of this team here at Wrexham. Rory Watson off to the Turkish League. We have finally got ourselves in a new midfielder here on the eve of the season beginning. It is Tom Lecou, another Frenchman joining us here at Wrexham. A bit of a French revolution going on here. But Tom Lecou, oh wait, no, we got a Dutchman, didn't we? Bergo is Dutch. Why do I think he was French? That's an inverted French flag. Anyways, Tom Lecou joining us here from Bordeaux. Are we going to get ourselves promoted to the championship with this team here? I'm really happy so far. Why does it keep doing this to my formation? Change that around. But I'm really happy so far with the team and how it is growing. We just need the growth to continue and the results on the pitch to keep going up in the right direction. Well and truly in the hunt here on the 1st of January. I don't want to be in 3rd position though, lads. I want to be top of the table. We won League 2. I want to win every single league on our path to Champions League glory. I mean, we want to be the greatest team of all time, not just some mediocre rise to glory. I say that like coming from like literally non-league football to the best in the world isn't some incredible achievement. There's a few players in our squad that I have had on the transfer list for a couple years. Haven't been able to get a permanent move for them, so I honestly don't mind letting them walk. Callum McFadden falls under this category. He's going to be leaving the club at the end of the season on a free transfer. Get in there, lads. We are heading to the championship, and we are doing it as the champions of the EFL League One. That is 2 titles and 2 divisions climbed. Charlton Athletic will be joining us there. A few teams fighting it out in the playoffs and in the relegation battle. It's AFC Wimbledon, Shrewsbury, Exeter City, and Rotherham United all headed down. Man City have won a Manchester derby in the FA Cup. Same deal heel in the Carabao Cup. Bad season if you're a Man United fan. Unfortunately, we haven't won ourselves a Papa John's trophy. I might just go get myself relegated from the championship on purpose next season so we get another opportunity at this glorious, prestigious trophy. Although we didn't even make it out of Group G of the southern section of the group stages, so maybe we're never going to do well in this tournament. It is going to be the historical Portsmouth joining us in the championship next season alongside ourselves and Charlton Athletic. Another Champions League title here for Real Madrid, AC Milan winning the Europa League, and Wolverhampton putting England on their back and winning the Conference League. Fair play. Dane Scarlett take about 25 goals and +7 growth this year. He's going to be heading into the championship on absolute fire. I am so excited to see what he can do. Again, Paul Mullen with a great year. It's so annoying because if he started this career mode at like 24 years of age, I have no reservations that he would be like 77, 78 right now, purely because of dynamic player potential. I'm going to be letting Harry Lennon, James Jones, and of course, Callum McFadden all leave the club on free transfers at the end of this season. But here we go, lads. 3 years down and we are finally into the championship. Let's begin our path towards the Premier League. We're here, we're in the championship, and here is a signing that I really wanted. Linus Gector, a German centre-half. I wanted a defender that is going to bolster our backline, get us up in the overall, can be a stud for us for the future, but most importantly, is going to stabilize us here in the championship. I expect a volatile season, so we need more quality players, to be totally honest. So I've been going through the free agents list, and I think I might have found the regen of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Babacar Dieng, 75 rated, Gabon striker. Nah, we need to get this kid. Let's go and approach to sign him right now. Yeah, 100%, you are a crucial first team player. 5-year contract is what I want. If we can get this guy, this would solve a huge issue because I was looking to get an upgraded striker, but we do not have the finances. This would be absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, you know what? I can live with that. The appearances, the signing bonus, all that jazz. We are going to get ourselves a new striker in Babacar Dieng. If he can have half the career that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang had, then I'm going to be a very happy man. And you might have seen this man's name on our shortlist when I did sign that striker, but Jake Brimmer, the Australian attacking midfielder, will be joining us as a backup midfielder on a free transfer. Genuinely nervous about our squad depth this season, so I'm trying to rectify that as much as I humanly can. We have got so many clubs coming in here for Dane Scarlett. We had Newcastle offer close to £50 million for him, but there is not a chance I'm selling this kid. What a stud. In fact, I don't want to sell anybody out of this team. I'm really happy with how we are going at the moment. Sutton's an absolute king. Squad depth, like I said, a little bit worrying, but we've rectified that issue a little bit in this window. Would love to get ourselves a backup goalkeeper, maybe in the summer, in the January transfer window. But with the signings of Gector and Dieng, our starting 11 is very, very balanced, and I hope that is going to help us in this championship season. So we currently sit 9th here on the 1st of January. However, we are only 5 points away from the playoff zone, so I would love if we could go on a little push here in the second half of the season. Top of the Luton are coming second, which is wild. I mean, if we're on 45 points, what's the relegate? We're well clear of Portsmouth. Oh my god, yeah, we're not getting relegated this year, which is a massive sigh of relief. Let's see if we can have a red hot crack at the playoffs. I said we needed a new backup goalkeeper, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. Gonna go to the old reliable free agents list. I love that. If the free agents didn't exist, I think I would be a shell of a man right now. But Tony Fidias, a Spanish goalkeeper, is going to join us here as a new backup option. We didn't have enough to get ourselves in the playoff picture. I thought for sure that we were going to be in the playoffs this year. I was super confident on the 1st of January that is how we were going to go. Like, there is no negotiables now. We need to be getting ourselves in the playoff picture for next season, for season number 5. Brighton and West Brom have been promoted. Luton absolutely bottled that. Although that being said, I am very glad we are not in the relegation battle, as it is going to be Wigan Athletic, Birmingham City, and Portsmouth all headed down. So the two teams that came up with us straight back down. Oh wait, no, Charlton came up with us, didn't they? Anyways, FA Cup time. Newcastle United winning that bad boy. We got thumped 3-0 by Liverpool in the 4th round. Tottenham have won the Carabao Cup, and it is going to be Burnley, Vincent Kompany's Burnley, heading up to the Premier League. Man City are living out their dreams on FIFA. Also, is this like the millionth Manchester derby we've had in this rebuild? Real Madrid, they got sick of winning the Champions League League, so they decided to go win the Europa. And it is Atalanta winning the Conference League. Okay, so Dane Scarlett, 18 goals, 3 assists is cool. Jake Brimmer scoring 18 goals and getting 4 assists is not what I expected. Also, Dieng getting 16 is awesome, but I was trying to figure it out. Like, did he start ahead of Duke more often? But Duke still played 41 games of the attacking midfield role. Berta, Lekou, and Cardoso all played a decent amount of games in the midfield. So has Brimmer just come off the bench and scored 18 goals? If so, that is incredible. Best super sub ever. Again, more of our initial squad members, though, are going to be departing the club at the end of this season. Calderbank Park, my fellow Australian, I'm sorry, mate. You're going to be a free agent, and so is Jacob Mendy. But the push towards the Premier League continues, ladies and gentlemen. Bring on season number 5 with Wrexham AFC. We have copped a massive blow to start this season. Tom Lekou wants out of Wrexham. He submitted a transfer request, and it looks like this is the move we're going to have to make to start this season. Also, holy shit, Sam Sutton is 85 rated. This dude's growth has been unreal, almost unprecedented. The Kiwi, he gives me like vibes. I don't know if you guys remember from like 3 or 4 FIFAs ago. Another Kiwi left back, another former Wellington Phoenix player, Liberato Kakache. I remember we got him in a rebuild, and he just went absolutely bonkers as well. There's something about those Kiwi defenders. How is that for timing? How is that for timing? Literally, I'm just talking about Liberato Kakache and Leicester. I mean, I'm going to reject this offer regardless, but Leicester literally come in and put a player swap for Liberato Kakache. That is perfect timing. Brendan Rodgers is a paid actor. All right, we have had an offer made here for Tom Lekou. I really want to get up to the £26.5 million marker here. We are talking with AZ Alkmaar. If I do sell him though, I want to get good money for him, and they're going to accept the £26.5 million counter offer. I'm happy about that. And there it is. Just like that, we begin season number 5 with Tom Lekou departing the club and heading to the Eredivisie. I really want to get Christian Aslani into the side here. He's currently playing in the Portuguese league. Let's see if we can bring him to the championship. So I'm going to start off by offering £23 million for the Albanian defensive midfielder. And they've just walked us out of the room. Do you not even have a counter offer in you? Come on. That is not how you negotiate. Wow. Okay. All right, round 2, lads. I want Christian Aslani so badly. I really want him to join the side. The chief executive has said we should offer at least £26.3 million. So I'll actually take his advice. I'll listen to what he says. 26.3. They say 29 with a 10% sell-on clause. Get out of here. Come on, 26.3. Give it to me, lads. Give it to me. I want that Albanian fella. 31! Oh, I don't want to pay that much, man. I'll say 27.4, but I do not want to spend too much money. I want to have a little bit left over. They say 28.3. All right, I'll accept that, but I'm not overly happy about it. One way you guys can cheer me up is by hitting that subscribe button, scorpion kicking it if you are new around here on the push towards 500,000 subscribers. So yeah, if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. There we go, lads. We finally get our man. It is Christian Aslani, the Albanian center defensive midfielder, joining us here for £28.3 million. I realized we only had Divine as our only right back in the entire squad. And if something happened to him, we were kind of screwed. Now, we didn't have a crazy amount of money, nor did I want to spend a crazy amount of money on a backup right back, but I thought it was probably safe if we did that regardless. Thomas Aquilina is going to join us here. We pay £1.4 million to sign him from the Central Coast Mariners. The goal has got to be promotion to the Premier League this season, lads. Our squad is good enough to survive in the Premier League, if you ask me, let alone not even be there. I mean, the bench is coming nicer. This team is becoming something special at a rapid pace. Once again, we find ourselves on the cusp of the playoffs here in the championship, fellas. Sitting in 6th right now on the 1st of January. 48 points to our name. 11 points behind Leeds, but a lot of teams breathing down our necks. The championship continues to prove itself to be an absolute juggernaut. Also, we may or may not have just £3 to our name, so I think this is going to be a little bit quiet of a January transfer window. All right, lads, here we go. It is time for the playoffs. We have finished third in the regular season. Both Brentford and Leeds well and truly ahead of us, but we now have to duke it out with Bristol City, Watford, and Norwich. Are we headed to the Premier League? The playoffs begin here. Semi-final time against Norwich. The first leg is away at Carrow Road. Can we get ourselves off to a strong start? Come on, Wrexham. Come on, Wrexham. No! Oh, you are kidding. We are 1-0 down after the first leg, and now on the cusp of being eliminated in the semi-finals. What? This would be absolutely devastating if we were eliminated in the championship semi-finals here. Come on, we've literally got an 86 rated striker, and we're 1-0 down to Norwich. Come on, Wrexham. Score a goal. We lost on aggregate. Are you kidding me? Another year in the championship is ahead of us. What? What a monumental disappointment that is. And Norwich City, despite getting the massive scalping of us, aren't even the side that are getting promoted to the Premier League. It is Bristol City. I can't believe we lost to Norwich. What is going on? The teams that were relegated in the championship, however, are going to be Ipswich, Charlton, and Sheffield Wednesday. Liverpool did win the FA Cup. We made it to the round of 16 this year, so we are slowly creeping up in terms of relevancy in English football. Meanwhile, it is Tottenham winning the Carabao Cup. Man City versus Real Madrid in the Champions League final again. A big German rivalry here with Bayern Munich taking down Dortmund. And Leicester have won the Conference League. The longer Dane Scarlett gets to continue playing in the championship, probably the better, because he continues getting 23 goals a year and absolutely walking the league. Jake Brimmer as well, up to a 75 overall, 21 goals for him. And the thing is, I knew that he played more games this year because we had Duke get an injury for a majority of the season. So Jake Brimmer playing 50 games actually makes sense for once. Let's show some love though to Paul Mullen. He might be our backup striker and rapidly decreasing, but he still managed to bag himself 8 goals off the bench. Again though, more initial squad players leaving on freeze. Kai Evans, he had that loan earlier, but he's still not really doing too well. And then Sam Dalby leaving on a free as well. If we do not get promoted to the Premier League next season though, I might lose my mind. Making a massive call on the future of our team right here. I have decided to sell one of our first ever signings, Adam Devine. He's headed to PSV Eindhoven for £16.4 million. And we're going in for the Welsh defender himself, Nico Williams, currently playing at RC Lens in the French League. Let's see if we can get him back to Wales, get him to Wrexham. Come on, RC Lens. Okay, we can't afford that. Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be. You've got the presence of Mr. Rebuild in your room. 30.2. I need enough to be able to do a good, decent wage for him though. Come on, 29.5. You know you want it. There we go. RC Lens are okay with 29.5 for Nico Williams. Get in there, lads. Pulled it off and got a little bit of Welsh flavor into the side. Is Nico Williams going to be the final piece to the puzzle that we need to get Wrexham AFC promoted to the Premier League? Personally, I hope so. Keeping things so straightforward this window, because let's be for real, this team is way too good to be playing in the championship. Seriously, if we don't go undefeated this year, I am going to have some questions. I'm actually also going to put Brimmer in instead of Duke because he's 76 rated now. He's proven that he deserves to be our starting attacking midfielder. Let's go see how we're doing on the 1st of January. If we're not top of the league by a country mile, I will be so shocked. Or maybe we're just destined to never get out of the championship. How? I am losing my mind, lads. I am losing my mind. These draws are absolutely killing us. 51 points. We're 5th in the championship. How does this keep happening? And to make things even more depressing, we have found out that Paul Mullen is retiring at the end of the season. I want to send him out a winner, a champion, not 5th in the championship. So for the 2nd straight season, we're going to be playing in the playoffs. Burnley finished 3rd. We finished equal 3rd, but come 4th on goal difference. So it's Burnley, Wrexham, Watford, and Norwich fighting it out to join Sheffield United and Everton in the Premier League. We are yet to get past the hurdle of the championship semi-finals. Last year, we went out in shocking fashion to Norwich City. This year, we've got Watford. Can we get a strong lead on the first leg at Vicarage Road against Watford? The scoreline is going to be a 1-0 win. Nervous because we know how to bottle it, but we have ourselves the lead and we absolutely absolutely dominate Watford in terms of statistics. Here we go, fellas. Time for the second leg. We are at the racecourse ground. 1-0 lead against Watford for a spot in the Championship playoff final. Yes, we are headed there. It's a scoreless draw. That is fine by me. No injuries, no suspensions, and we are headed to Wembley for the Championship playoff final. I want my revenge from last year. Here we go, the promotion playoff final, and we're taking on the side who eliminated us last year. They eliminated another third place side in Burnley, so another shock from Norwich, but we're about to end their reign of terror. Let's get Wrexham to the Premier League. And in the final game of his career, I will be starting Paul Mullen. I want him to leave Wrexham and finish football a champion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment to secure Wrexham AFC a spot in the Premier League. We're at Wembley Stadium taking on Norwich City in the Championship playoff final, and we're headed to the top flight. Scarlett picking himself up a brace. Paul Mullen plays the full 90 and retires a champion with Wrexham AFC. We're going to the top flight, baby. Get in there. Absolutely over the moon to be promoted. We're headed to the Premier League, but the teams that are heading down the division are Millwall, Plymouth Argyle, and Barnsley. Chelsea did win the FA Cup this year. Tottenham won a North London derby in the Carabao Cup final. We know who won the Championship playoffs. Man City with another Champions League. They are killing it in this video. Chelsea continue England's domination in the European stage this year, and Rangers are going to get themselves a Conference League title. Fair play. Dane Scarlett, surprisingly, not getting any growth this year. I mean, he's already a world-class striker. 26 goals and 3 assists for him, but he is still 86 rated. But as we all know, we are saying goodbye to Paul Mullen. It's a shame you couldn't come to the Premier League with us, mate. If you want to extend your contract for one more year and come out of retirement, let me know. But for now, it is goodbye. The Premier League era is here, and we need a star player for the attacking midfield spot if we want to survive relegation. Bilal El Khanous, the Moroccan attacking midfielder, is joining us from Genk in the Belgian league for £44 million. And it might come as a bit of a surprise, but we have decided to part ways with Linus Gekta. This wasn't my choice. Linus wanted out of the club, and he only had a year remaining on his contract, so we're selling him before he walks on a free transfer. We've got £26 million to send him to Lazio. So our new number one priority is to get a new world-class, or at least quality, centre-half. He was one of our first signings, but it is now time to say goodbye to the American frat boy himself, Bryce Duke, who is headed down south to Bournemouth for £6.2 million. A new starting centre-half has been acquired. Peter Graf is going to join us here from Borussia Dortmund. We signed the German defender for £50 million, 84 rated. This dude looks like an absolute stud. Following the retirement of Paul Mullen, we needed a new backup striker on the bench here, which is why we have signed Josh Coburn. Got him from Middlesbrough. Coburn may do us a job, but he'll never replace Paul Mullen's impact in our hearts. We knew exactly what we needed to do in this opening Premier League transfer window. Surely there is no way that this team is in the relegation battle. This team should be pushing for like Europa League, Conference League, maybe even Champions League, let alone being in the Premier League for the first time. I can't believe it took us that long to get out of the Championship. Low-key kind of embarrassed. But let's go check in on the 1st of January and see how we're going in the Premier League season. So I've been going through and putting development plans and all that stuff that I do behind the scenes on players for this part of the season, and I've noticed that for Milos Matisic, it says it's only going to take 2 weeks for him to convert to a center defensive midfielder, which makes me curious to see what that could do to his overall. So we're going to come back in 2 weeks. If he doesn't do anything, if he stays at an 80, I'll just go back to a center back, but I'm genuinely curious. All right, Matisic position change option. He's 80 rated at center back. Is he going to change anything at defensive midfielder? He goes up to an 84. Here I was expecting like an 81 or an 82. Okay, that changes a lot of my plans moving forward. The only issue is doing that has made him like -2 for his sharpness. I'm gonna have to take the hit for now. I mean, he's still technically 2 overall higher than he was at a center back, but all right, we're gonna do some stuff in January. So here we are on the 1st of January, and we are not clear of the relegation zone by any stretch of the imagination. We currently sit 14th, but we are 5 points ahead of Everton. We've got some work to do in this second half of the season. season. So I'm making some massive moves to the team here in this January window. The first man out of the club is Wouterberger. The Dutchman is off to Leipzig for £23.5 million. Might be a bit of a risk as well. Been playing around the formations, and I think I'm going to start converting Raul Cardoso to an attacking midfielder. I just can't work any other way than to have him in attacking midfield, because this is what the starting 11 is looking like now. I've changed up to a 4-2-2 formation with Matisik and Asllani as our two defensive midfielders. So we need to get ourselves a new centre half, and I'm probably going to try selling another reserve player just for money reasons. And we're going to say goodbye to an unexpected hero of this rebuild, Jake Brimmer. When I signed the Australian attacking midfielder off of the free agents list, I thought he was going to be nothing but just another number, just a little bit of an option as a backup. This dude scored a lot of goals, and I'm interested to see how he goes at Wolverhampton. And on transfer deadline day, we are finally going to get ourselves a new centre half. It is the Frenchman Nael Vidal joining us here for 25. Hey, his value's gone up since we signed him, but we've got him here for £25.6 million for VfB Stuttgart. I'm very excited to see what this kid can do. So this is the team we have for the remainder of the Premier League season. Surely it's going to be enough to survive the relegation dogfight. Let's go. We weren't even close to the relegation battle this year. You love to see it. We have gone off in the second half of the season here. End up finishing 9th. We didn't have such a slow start to the season. We genuinely could have been in chance for like a Conference League or Europa League spot. Regardless though, climbing up the table, Manchester City are the champions of the Premier League. And the actual teams that got relegated, Everton's going back down. Everton's officially a yo-yo club now. Tottenham win yet another domestic trophy. We actually lost to Tottenham in the round of 16, so we're getting closer and closer to the business end of the FA Cup. Chelsea did win the Carabao Cup. PSG and Man City, they're going off in this video. Marseille win the Europa League, and Torino winning the Conference League. Couple of absolute studs for us here though in our first Premier League season. Dane Scarlett delivering once again. He is surely on track to become a rebuild Hall of Famer. He's consistently getting 20 plus goals every single year. Also, Dieng is quietly sneaking up there. 85 overall. Very happy with the progress of this fella. Losing Jordan Davies at the end of the season though, he has got a pre-contract deal already sorted with another club. Thank you, Jordan Davies, but it is time to say goodbye. We have survived our first season in the Premier League. Now it is time to push on, prosper, and push for European football. All right, fellas, one of my big moves for this year, I want ourselves to get a new starting goalkeeper. Cummings has been an absolute stud for us in this journey, but we need to make our push up in like the rest of the squad. Like, we are no longer wanting to be a mid-table side. We want European football. We're going in for this Swiss goalkeeper here, Thomas Wagner. They want, no way are you getting Matisik. I just want a flat fee of £42 million. They say 45 for, but the tension is high. Do I want to risk it for an extra like £2 million? This might get me in trouble, but we're going to say 43.5. And they're going to accept it. Phew. Chelsea won Aubameyang's regen. What a surprise. You've already ruined Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's career. Don't ruin his regens. There we go, lads. We get ourselves a new starting shot stopper. Thomas Wagner, the Swiss goalkeeper regen, redhead beast himself, is joining us here at Wrexham for £43.5 million. I had to do it, lads. We needed some squad depth numbers. Our depth numbers are just absolutely atrocious. So we're going to sign Paul Pogba on a 1-year deal here. This might be the club that he ends his career at, but Paul Pogba is now a Wrexham AFC player. He was one of our starting players here at Wrexham, but we have finally parted ways with Thomas O'Connor as the Irishman is headed to Los Angeles. Mikey O'Neill is the definition of a utility player for us. We're going to sign the Englishman from Preston North End as a backup attacking midfielder, but he can also fill in at striker and centre mid. Exactly what we need when our squad depth numbers are pretty pathetic. And the free agent recruiting continues. A new backup centre back option. This kid looks like a decent prospect. Theo Boucher, a French defender, joining us on a free. Almost tempted to loan him out, but we desperately need him as a backup. We needed a window to not only make our starting 11 stronger, but most importantly, make our reserves stronger. This bench has gone from being pretty crap to now somewhat respectable. I know we had it looking respectable before I had to sell sell a couple of players, but I'm glad that it is back to being at its best right now. We desperately need qualification for Europe this year though. If we find ourselves in the relegation battle again here on the 1st of January, I'm gonna be throwing hands. Oh, come on lads, we're sitting 9th in the Premier League. We need to convert these draws to wins. Oh, we're 8 points out of the top 5, but we are definitely in the hunt for Europa League, Conference League next year. We need a big second half of the year, lads. Come on, Wrexham. I'm not quite throwing hands right now, but I'm starting to warm up the knuckles, you know? It's only taken a full year, but we have finally got Raul Cardoso able to be converted to an attacking midfielder. I'm gonna press Y. He's 86 rated and he stays 86 rated. I was hoping he would have a similar effect to Matic and he would hit like the 90 marker. That would have been real nice. I'm trying to make every single pound work for us in this season. If anything happened to Sam Sutton, we were stuck with like a 64 rated option. So I've decided to sign Hugo Rhodes from Ross County in the Scottish Premiership for £2.5 million. It's nothing glamorous, but it's a step in the right direction at least. What an absolute stinker. Not only have we missed out on Champions League by a country mile, over 20 points away from the top 4, we're not even in the Europa League or the Conference League at this stage. That is a kick to the guts. We can't take that next step. In this whole rebuild, it comes back like our championship run and now our Premier League run. We're struggling to just take that next step. Scrolling up the table though, and it's going to be Chelsea winning the Premier League title. They almost went as Centurions and almost Invincibles. In the relegation zone though, it is going to be Aston Villa, West Brom and Bournemouth all headed down. Scratch that, lads. We're going to the Europa League next year because we have won the FA Cup. Oh my God. Clear to see why we struggled so much in the Premier League, because we put all of our eggs into the basket of the FA Cup. Took down Liverpool in the final, Watford 4-3 in the semis, Leicester in the round in the quarters, and in the round of 16 we took down West Ham on penalties. So we absolutely grinded our way through. But we get our first major piece of silverware in this rebuild. Let's go. Meanwhile, it is Everton who won the Carabao Cup. Atletico Madrid have won the Champions League. The Europa League is an all-English affair with Man United winning that one. I'm so curious though to see how we go in that tournament next year. And Leicester City continue England's dominance here. Conference League winners. Dane Scarlett unable to crack that 20 goal marker, but that's still a pretty respectable year from Dane Scarlett. I really needed him to start getting up to like the 25, 30 goal a season marker though. Let's make season number 9 the start of that journey. Also, Raul Cardoso going to attacking midfielder has worked an absolute treat. 14 goals and 14 assists for the Portuguese attacking midfielder. He goes up to an 88 overall. I'm over the moon with that. I'm letting a whole heap of our initial batch of players leave the club though. Ryan Austin, Aaron Hayden, Jake Bickerstaff, and Dan Davies all leaving on free deals. I feel like $1 million after pulling this transfer off, because we have signed one of world football's best defensive prospects. It's now a 29-year-old William Saliba who is joining us here from Real Madrid. He had 12 months left on his contract, so we have picked him up on an absolute bargain price for his standard, £64.9 million. That's basically the whole transfer budget into the one signing, and you know what? I'm okay with that because that is a game changer. Sorry, Vidal, but you're definitely going on the bench after that one, mate. Last season, we started with just like out of the gates firing off so many transfers. This year, just the one. I'm happy with the starting 11 at the moment. A few players need some growth, but William Saliba is a great addition to the starting 11. I'm still dumbfounded how he finished 10th last year. Let's keep it a buck here, lads. This team could win a Premier League title. Not only do I think we could win the Premier League, I think we can definitely win the Europa League. This is going to be a real test to see just how good we are. This is our group: Sporting, Copenhagen, and Helsinki. Surely we're emerging from this group. Surely. Finally, we are in the fold. We are 3rd right now on the 1st of January, but again, not super safe. There's still teams breathing down our necks. But Champions League qualification is the goal this year. So far, so good, but a long way to go. Only one loss in the Europa League group stages, but Sporting have had an undefeated campaign, meaning we're going to have to face Villarreal in the preliminary rounds here of the Europa League. So give us strength. That's going to be a tough one. Okay, so I was going through renewing contracts of our players that expired in 6 months, and I thought, let's go through and have a look at some of the best players in the world and see if any of them are off contract. Haaland isn't off contract. Florian Wirtz isn't off contract. Kylian Mbappe, he might be 32 years of age, but he is still 95 overall overall. He is off contract. We need to get this man. I might have to pay a ridiculous amount of wages, but if we can sign Kylian Mbappe on a free for next season, unlike anything I've done in so long in Rebuild history. I am overwhelmed and almost kerfuffled by this opportunity. Every notification I get, I'm like jumping a little bit because I'm like, is it going to say Mbappe accepted offer? I don't care about selling Wagner. God, I don't even want to play these games right now. I just want to see about Mbappe. Mbappe offer accepted! Oh my God, Kylian Mbappe, 32 years of age, next year is going to be joining us at Wrexham AFC on a pre-contract expiry. Nah, you are taking the piss. That's got to be an A. That has got to be like an A triple plus. God damn, I'm excited for next year. We have finished 7th in the Premier League. We were 2 points away from 3rd place Man City. We finish on 69 points, nice, but Man City finished 3rd on 71. That is actually cooked. This rebuild is gonna send me to an early grave. But it was Manchester United who won the Premier League title on goal difference. I still can't believe that we have finished 7th. Scrolling down the Premier League table though, the relegated sides are gonna be Leeds, Nottingham Forest, and Norwich. We did win the Community Shield at the start of the season though, against Chelsea on penalties. So that's one bit of silverware at least this year. Make it 2. We have gone back to back as FA Cup champions, but it really means nothing because we're going to have Europa League regardless. We couldn't do a domestic treble though. Leicester City have won the Carabao Cup. Juventus take down Man City to win the Champions League. Champions League coming to Wrexham in season number 10, lads. Yes, we have won the Europa League. We take down Liverpool. Get in there in the final. So obviously we beat Villarreal in the preliminary round. Round of 16, we took down Stade Rennais. Quarterfinals, we took down Lazio. Semi-finals, we took down Ajax on penalties. And we beat Liverpool 1-0 to win the Europa League and complete a treble. Meanwhile, it is Malmo getting some European glory to the Swedish league. We said that we wanted Dane Scarlett getting 30 goals this season, and that is exactly what he has gone out and done. 31 goals, 5 assists, and 91 rated. Dane Scarlett truly is a superstar. El Canus, I was debating selling him at the start of the season, but he has stepped up and proven me wrong. 27 goals, 3 assists. Big question though, with Kylian Mbappe coming in next year, what do we do with Babacar Dieng? Can we convert him anywhere? Or are we going to have to change up the formation? I do not know. Regardless though, the lads have absolutely crushed it this year. We are going to be saying goodbye though to 2 more players. Paul Pogba and Max Cleworth are going to be departing on free deals. Thank you for your service, lads, but it is time to go. We are headed to the Champions League though in season number 10. 3 pieces of silverware this year. It has been trophies galore at the racecourse ground. Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney, again, are you watching? Oh, there it is, lads. Oh, that is a sight to behold. That is an absolute sight to behold. 10 seasons in, and we have Kylian Mbappe in Wrexham Red. That is cooked. Genuinely, when I made this rebuild, I did not expect to be signing Kylian Mbappe in this video, but you know what? I am all here for it. I have been seriously debating what to do with Dieng. I think it's clear that Scarlett needs to be our starting striker alongside Kylian Mbappe. I was debating selling Dieng, but I thought, you know what? Why give another team Dieng when we can just have arguably the world's best backup striker? So Dieng, you're going to be our backup striker option. It's going to be a very busy season, so I think we can use all the quality that we can possibly get. Ryan Reynolds and the Wrexham board have just blessed us financially here though. 131 million pounds this season, so let's go get ourselves some talented players. Starting off here with a backup defensive midfield option. It's a little bit of Welsh talent into the side. Charlie Savage is going to be joining us here for 12.5 million pounds from Motherwell. The funny thing is, I almost signed Charlie Savage like really early on in this rebuild. I think I ended up going for Berger instead. So we've finally got our man, not in the same capacity I initially expected, but Charlie Savage is our new backup defensive midfielder. Gonna get another player here with a connection to Manchester United. It is a backup right back, Danny Soraya, of course, a regen player. This kid looks like a little bit of a stud, so if Nico Williams doesn't work out long term, then Danny Soraya could be a good option. Regardless though, we signed him from Man United. The spending spree does not end there though, ladies and gentlemen. We have got ourselves a new backup attacking midfielder. It's an upgrade on our already upgraded backup attacking midfielder, Gabriel Vidovic, joining us from from Bayern Munich. And Leo Hjelde is going to join us on a cut price deal from Troyes. We get the Norwegian left back for £21.9 million. It's good because he's an option, obviously, at left back, but also he can play centre back. So it's just a little bit more stability in that position as well. This team has genuinely got to be up there as one of the best we have ever put together in rebuild history. Oh my goodness gracious me. Even the bench and the reserves are unbelievable. Our lowest rated player in the whole squad is 72 rated. That's how you know we're building an insane team. Mbappe's already gone down 1 overall though. I mean, he's still 94 rated, but that's something to be a little bit worried about. Maybe Dieng might catch him by the end of the season. We're in the Champions League though for the first time in this rebuild. We did it by, of course, winning the Europa League. So can we win the Europa League and the Champions League in back-to-back years? We've got Leipzig, Montpellier, and Rangers. So definitely not a walk in the park. Get in there, lads. A very strong opening Champions League group stage. We topped the group 5 points clear of Montpellier. I'm going to be totally honest. I didn't expect Montpellier to get ahead of RB Leipzig, but the same can probably be said. RB Leipzig didn't expect to be playing Wrexham in the Champions League eventually. So we're into the last 16. Who are we facing? Oh, that is not a good opponent. It is last year's Champions League winners, Juventus. We could have had Besiktas. We could have had FC Basel. We could have had AZ Alkmaar, Nice, but no, we get Juventus. So far, so good in the Premier League, but this title race is unbelievable. We could be so far clear if we just didn't draw so many games. We've had 1 loss, but we've had 7 draws. Come on, lads, get those draws out of our system and win Wrexham a Premier League title. So here we go, the moment of truth. Champions League round of 16 taking on last year's winners in Juventus. This could be a massive scalp or a massive learning opportunity. The first leg is away in Turin against Juventus. The scoreline is a 2-1 win. Kylian Mbappe, you beautiful man, getting himself a brace and giving us the lead in the 88th minute there against the old lady. I'm nervous, lads. It is the round of 16, the second leg. We have the advantage. The ball is in our court, but Juventus won last year's Champions League for a reason. They have a very good team. This would be a massive scalp if we can hold on here, hosting what could arguably be the biggest game in racecourse ground history. Can we get ourselves through to the next round? Will the Wrexham revolution continue here in season 10? Yes, it will! We win on penalties! Oh my god. That took a second for my brain to compute that. I was looking at all the numbers. Sensory overload. Mbappe got us into extra time in the 70th minute, and we eliminate Juventus here in the round of 16. Oh my god. This game hates us. This game hates us. Montpellier versus Basel is one of the quarterfinals, but no, we're facing Real Madrid here in the quarterfinals. Oh, this is absolutely cooked. Going about it the toughest way possible. Can we get another massive scalp under our belts? I certainly hope so. All right, we're on the road here for the first leg again. It's at the Santiago Bernabeu. We came away from the first leg in the round of 16 with a lead, and I'd be over the moon if we could do the exact same here right now. This Real Madrid side, that attack in midfield, they got Erdegaard back, which is funny to see, but this team is really good. They've got Costa in between these sticks. I was tempted to sign him instead of Wagner when we ended up signing Wagner, but can we get ourselves a first leg lead? Yes! Mbappe! I mean, I was gonna say, clearly worth every cent we paid for him, but we paid £0 for him. Mbappe with a brace, and we once again have a strong lead headed into the second leg. All right, lads, here we go. The second leg. I feel like I'm gonna say this for every single time we progress, if we progress, that this leg at Racecourse Ground could be the biggest game in club history. We have a 2-0 lead. It's strong, but we went on last game about how good this Real Madrid team is, and I don't know if you can tell by my demeanor, but I am kind of nervous here. I know what FIFA can do, and I know what Real Madrid can do. Are we gonna hold on to our 2-0? See what I mean, lads? See what I mean. Real Madrid come out and beat us 3-2. Nico Williams got a straight red. Oh, we're gonna be without Williams for the semi-final first leg, but we have made it to the semi-final, and I'm not feeling confident at all, to be honest. We almost bottled that. Yes! We have got FC Basel in the Champions League semi-finals. They ended up taking down Montpellier 3-1. FC Basel versus Wrexham AFC FC, a semi-final that we'll probably never see. I want to go see who Basel has on their team. I'm impressed. FC Basel, they've got some decent players, but nobody really that wild at the moment. In fact, they've only got a couple players that, how have they made a Champions League semi-final with this team? They've got, what, 2, 3, 4 players that are over, like their best rated player is 82, and they've made a Champions League semi-final. Oh my God. Now, if we don't absolutely wipe the floor with this lot, I'm going to be shocked. First leg away is how I've had it all Champions League long. Let's see if we can get ourselves off to a strong lead here in the semi-finals. We only beat them 2-1. We may dominate in the statistics, but they get themselves a goal back there in the 12th minute with Cade. We've got the lead, but it is not a convincing one by any stretch of the imagination. We've got Nico Williams back in the starting 11 following his suspension. But we've got the home leg now. A draw will get us through to a Champions League final. It's the Cinderella story of the season versus the Cinderella story of the decade. Basel versus Wrexham. Are we going to get ourselves through to a Champions League final here in season number 10? Oh my God, we've done it on penalties. How have we lost to that Basel team? Number 1? Holy shit. My heart just sank, but it's okay, lads. It is okay. Sutton gets us the penalty and puts us in to a Champions League final. We dominated them again, but we lost. Oh, I can't believe that. What? This is the weirdest season ever. I now feel 10,000 times happier that we got Mbappe on a free contract because we no longer have to face him here. He is our asset as we're facing PSG in the season 10 Champions League final. Taking a look around the grounds, it is an all-English Europa League final with Arsenal winning that one. BSC Young Boys have stopped Leicester from continuing the English domination. We win a Premier League title with Wrexham. Get in there, lads. 1 point ahead of Tottenham to give the Welsh outfit our first Premier League title. You love to see it. Champions League footy confirmed again for season 11 if we don't win tonight, and a Premier League title to throw in the trophy cabinet. Scrolling down the table though, the relegated sides are Everton, Sheffield United and West Brom. We've done the domestic double, adding a community shield to our trophy cabinet, and that is our third FA Cup in a row. We've done the domestic treble, and we have absolutely thumped Manchester United 4-0 in the final. We are having one hell of a season. Unable to add a Carabao Cup to the trophy cabinet though. Could have done the domestic quad. Although if we do win the Champions League here, that is still a quad season. So fingers across, touching all the wood. Let's get that dub. This team is absolutely cooked, and I really cannot wait to use it. Mbappe with 29 goals in his Premier League season debut. Scarlett with 23. No growth for him as well. Cardoso's 91 rated. What a free agent find he was. 15 goals, 15 assists. Even Diang's up to 91 now. Diang is the same overall as Dane Scarlett. We might have some questions to ask next season if we don't win the Champions League, but hopefully we don't get to ask those questions because I'm hoping we can beat PSG tonight and complete the Wrexham rebuild. It is the crescendo of what has been an incredible story. Let's have ourselves a Hollywood ending befitting of a club owned by two of Hollywood's juggernauts. PSG, bring it on. Moretti's just controlling the possession. He goes there and forces a massive save out of Wagner. Playing it early. Kylian Mbappe, what is that finish? I should have taken a bloody touch. Hakimi squaring it. They're playing it around. That is a ball and a half from them. And it's Armando Broja giving PSG the lead here in the Champions League final. They have just pulled us apart with their passing, and that is a huge blow. Scarlett, one-on-one. That final touch was lacking, but we're going to get a corner regardless. Cardoso looking to square it, going to Scarlett. Scarlett makes it 1-1. We continue our momentum from the end of the first half. I thought I might have stuffed that up in all honesty, but it is Dane Scarlett, one of our stars in the rebuild, getting us all tied up here in Turkey. Come on, we've got to stay focused here. Nah, we've got to stay focused. I was almost convinced that we conceded there. We might have equalized, but we're not in the lead. To Scarlett. Scarlett, oh, what a run. Matisic, oh, follow up. Come on! Scarlett's got a brace! You'll love to see it! And we now have the lead in this Champions League final. What an end-to-end game this one has been. Oh my God. Come on, lads, defend it. Don't let him get an equalizer. What a save, Wagner. Come out firing. Put the pressure. They put it wide. Oh my God, they put it wide. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Broja blocked. That's a shocking shot. Saliba's gonna clear it, and the referee He blows the full-time whistle. Get in there, lads. Champions League winners with Wrexham. Oh, the fairy tale is complete. Oh, that was stressful. It is going to be our Polish centre-back turned defensive midfielder, Matisik, who is going to lift the Champions League title here with AFC Wrexham. Oh my God, what a sight this is. Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney. I hope you guys can achieve this one day. But lads, if you enjoyed today's chaotic monster rebuild, make sure you click here to subscribe and click here to watch another video.